Hello everyone and welcome to Jack's Code Academy Web Developer Online Bootcamp. I am your instructor, Blake Seipler. This bootcamp coincides with our in-person bootcamp taught at UNF in Jacksonville, Florida. It is designed to give you job-ready skills to become a junior web developer. If you have prior web development knowledge, then that's great. If not, then that's great too. The course will seem to be slow at first, but will quickly pick up pace. You will get stuck and you will get confused, but I will always be there if you have any questions. You can find my email on the syllabus page, and you always have the option to come into our in-person class if needed. So without further ado, let's get started. I will be using Visual Studio Code as my editor for this bootcamp. It is the editor that I'm most familiar with, and it's free, but other editors such as Atom, Sublime, and Brackets will work just fine. In this lesson, we'll be learning about HTML. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Basically, HTML is the content of your web page. It is the words, the images, the videos, etc. Before you begin coding, please make a folder on your computer called Jack's Code, as we will be saving everything that we do into that folder. Go ahead and open your editor and open a new file and save that file into your Jack's Code folder as index.html. Now, I already have my index.html file open already, so let's get started. The basic structure of every web page on the internet starts with the same boilerplate HTML elements, or as I like to call them, tags. To open a tag, you use a closed angle bracket, then you write the name of the tag, and then you put an opening bracket. Every web page begins with a doctype HTML tag. So to do that, we do our closing angle bracket, doctype HTML. After the doctype HTML tag, you open a HTML tag by itself. A handy tool in VS Code is to start typing the tag, then hit tab. I'll redo this one for you so you can understand what I'm saying. If I type in HTML and hit tab, it already puts my opening tag and my closing tag for that element. It's pretty handy. Now, inside of your HTML tag goes your head tag. Inside your head tag goes your title tag. And then after your head tag goes your body tag. Now, in between your body tags will basically go everything that you want to be displayed on your web page. Whether that be text, images, videos, etc. They all go in between your body tags. So this right here will always be the basic structure of every web page. Now let's go ahead and start talking about some different types of tags. The first thing I want to talk about is headings. In between the body tags, let's put an H1 tag. The H stands for heading. It defines text as a heading on your web page. Now in between your H1 tags, let's go ahead and type I am an H1 tag. And let's go ahead and click save. And then what you want to do is you want to go find the file that you created, this index.html, in your folders here. Here's mine. And you want to double click that. And what that'll do is that'll bring up the web page. As you can see, the text that I just wrote in there, I am an H1 tag, shows up on my web page. Now, heading tags come in different sizes. The largest being an H1 tag, which we just did, and the smallest being an H6 tag. Let's go ahead and put an H3 tag. We'll put I am an H3 tag, and then let's put an H6 after that. I am an H6 tag. Let's save that, open up your web browser, Click refresh. As you can see, the different sizes in these headings are actually pretty dramatic. So an H6 tag is a lot smaller than an H3 tag, and an H3 tag is a lot smaller than an H1 tag. Just remember, the larger the number goes, the smaller the heading. There are 6 different heading styles you can do. So the H6 tag that I did is the smallest heading, and the H1 tag is the largest heading. So if you had an H4 tag, it would be smaller than this H3 tag here, but larger than this H6. And like I said, there are 6 different heading tags. Now let's go ahead and add a P tag to our web page. The P stands for paragraph. Put a P tag in there. And now let's put just some dummy text in there. I'm going to put some lorem ipsum text. Now if you have VS Code, a shortcut that you can do to do this is you can just type in lorem and hit tab. It'll auto-populate some generic Latin text for us. If you don't have that shortcut in your editor, go ahead and Google lorem ipsum generator and go to one of the generator sites and grab some lorem ipsum text. Lorem ipsum text is commonly used as placeholder text. After putting in some lorem ipsum text, save your file and then open your browser, and refresh. As you can see, the paragraph tag that we just put in there has shown up on our web page. All right, what's next? All right, so now let's talk about breaks. So to put a line break in, you just use a BR tag, and you can put it pretty much anywhere on the page that you want. Now I'm going to put it in between my, in the middle of my generic text here. So BR. Basically what this does is it just defines a new line break. So I'm going to save that. Open up my web page. Refresh. As you can see, it created a new line where I designated it to in my code. That's basically what all a BR tag does. Now, a lot of people will try to use BR tags to create spacing. As you can see, if I put more than one BR tag in here, I refresh, see how it adds that spacing. I really recommend not doing that, as it'll mess up your layout later on, especially the responsiveness as you go from desktop to mobile. It just ruins the whole spacing. So don't get in the habit of doing that. So yeah. So now let's talk about links. So let's add a link to our page. A tags are used to insert links into your web page. To insert a link, you must open the A tag, like so. Create some space in there. So yeah, to insert a link, you must open up an A tag, and then inside your A tag, you'll notice that there's an href here. Now mine auto-populated just because I'm using VS Code. That's a shortcut, but you can just type that into your editor if you don't have that. Now inside the href, you want to put the web address of the page that you want to link to. So for example, let me go to Google. If I go to Google, I copy this, excuse me, I copied the address, I put that in my href here. Now in between your A tags, you put whatever text you want. Click here to go to google.com. Save that. Go here. Refreshed. As you can see, it inserted a link, and if I click that link, it takes me to Google. It's pretty nice, pretty handy. Now if you want to have your web page. See, if you notice here, if I click on this link, this takes me in the same tab to Google. Now, what if you want to open up a new tab and take you to Google? To do that, you would have to put a target equals underscore blank. Save that. Refresh this. If I click it now, it opens up a new tab and it keeps me on this web page over here. Pretty handy tool. Now let's talk about some images. To insert an image onto your web page, all you have to do is use an image tag, which is an IMG. I'm gonna hit tab here. Now when you do an image tag, it's going to give you two different attributes. These right here are called attributes, by the way. Like this href is an attribute, this target's an attribute, source and alt. So inside of your source attribute, this is where you link to your image that you want. So if I go to Google, by the way, I'll just click that, and I type in deer images. Okay, let's try to find a small image. Don't need a big one. We could use this one. I'll click this. If I copy the image address, go to my code now, and I put that address in the source, click save, refresh, it added the image that I linked to. It's easy as that. Now the alt attribute, now this is used basically if the image fails to load. This is just some text that describes the image. So I could just say deer looking at you. So basically if the web page fails to load the image, it'll show this text here instead. It's pretty handy. Now one thing you'll notice on this image tag here is that there is no closing image tag. There are two different types of tags. There's closing tags, and then there's self-closing tags. So these up here are basically closing tags. Like these are tags that always are going to have a closing tag here. For example, this A here, the P, the H1s, so you have an opening and then a closing one. An image tag is a self-closing tag, so you do not need to have a closing image tag for this to work. All right, now let's talk about some lists. So to do lists, there are two different types of lists, first off. There's ordered and unordered lists. To do an unordered list, all you have to do is put a UL tag, stands for unordered list. Then in between your UL tags, you need to list every item. So let's say I wanted to have a list of different types of drinks. All you have to do is put an LI tag, stands for list item. I'm going to put water. And I'm going to put another LI tag, put coffee. Let's do another one. Let's put tea. So each list item needs to be in its own LI tag. So if I save this, remember this is an unordered list. Go ahead and refresh this page. See how I added my list items here? I added my list. It's unordered, so it stays at as a bulleted list because it's unordered. Now let's say I want to put a ordered list below that. All you do is you change the UL to a OL, and you still do LIs here. So water, . There, I put the same list, except for this time it's ordered. I save that. And I refresh this. See how it's ordered now? 1, 2, 3. Now 1, 2, 3 is the default. You don't have to use 1, 2, 3. There are ways to designate it to be A, B, C, or Roman numerals. And you can just go ahead and look those up. They're pretty easy to find. Excuse me. Now let's talk about div tags. Div tags are used to group elements together. It's mainly used for styling. So, I'll just show you, for example, if I wrap a div tag around this group of elements here. By the way, I'm going to make sure I indent these, try to keep a little bit more, I guess a little order to the code. So this div tag here basically groups all of these elements together. Now I'm just going to add some styling to this, and we'll get into styling later. If I put a background color, I put blue. Let's do light blue. Go ahead and save that. If I open this up over here, you'll see that it put a blue background over the items that I grouped in between my div tag. It's a way of just grouping items together and being able to style that specific group of elements. That's all a div tag does. If I put a div tag around this, background, color, lights, coral will do. I can grab this and I'll put this there. Let me indent these so it just looks nicer. Create some space. Save that. You see it put the coral, the light coral color behind the items that I grouped up in that div. That's basically what a div does. Now, let's say I don't want a blue background behind this one right here, this H3 tag. What I can do is I could wrap a span around that. Basically what a span does is it lets you group, or it lets you style specific elements without having to group it together. So let's say I want to put a span there, put a style. I can put a color, red. Save that. Refresh. See how it styled that right there. Now you could do it that way. You could just do it with a regular style tag by putting this style tag inside this H3 tag. For example, if I get rid of this span here, I could put a style tag in here. I refresh, still stays the same. But let's say I only wanted the word H3 red. This is when span tags would be most useful. Go here, get rid of that. Around the H3 here, I could put span. And I can give this a style equals color red. Save that. Refresh. You notice the H3 is the only thing that's red on that line, or even inside that div. That's what span tags are used for. And I could even change like I could do font size 45 pixels. Refresh. It changed the font size of that H3 to 46 pixels or 43 pixels, whatever I chose there. 45 pixels. All right, let me get rid of that. I guess we can keep that. That's fine. Now let me talk about. This will probably be the last thing in this video right here, this lesson. Let's talk about embedding a video onto your web page. To embed a video onto your web page, you use an iframe tag. Most of the time when people embed a video, they're embedding a video from YouTube. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to do that. If I type in YouTube here, let's do let's do this for example. Pause that. If I click share and then hit embed, you see this iframe tag here? What you want to do is you want to copy that tag, and then you want to put it into your editor here. And then just click save. Now remember, what I did is I clicked on a video, clicked share, and then hit embed, and then copied that right there. And let's go here, let's refresh this web page. As you can see, the video is now on the web page. So basically that's it. That's the majority of the main elements that you're going to be using, the main HTML elements that you'll be using as content on your web page. Now, refer to the next video or slideshow, I'm not sure which one I'm going to do yet, for your homework assignment. So thanks for tuning in today. I hope it was very informative. I hope it was a good first lesson. So until next time, I'll catch you guys later.